Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome. We're going to go ahead and get started on our main story quest lines once more. So, yeah. And yes, there will be spoilers as we are doing the main story quest line. So, yeah. So, yeah. Where our next turn in is right over here. And this is the guildmaster for the conjurers, white mages, basically. So, yeah. And Isamiyan is his name, and he says, "Welcome, Nyra, welcome. That you should be the one to face good King Mugomog the 12th is of great comfort to me and the elementals both." Sorry, I had a message on my phone. Yeah, just so you know, I gotta keep an eye on my phone just in case something happens. So, yeah, which is what happened yesterday. So, hopefully nothing of that nature will happen today. So, yay! Alright, so, Isami Yon continues. He says, "As I am sure you know, the Muggles are not by their nature a warlike race. Yet, should the king be suffered to remain, it is like that his influence will bring about a change in them. Thus, does it behoove us to defeat him quickly, before any lasting damage is done. Make whatever preparations you deem necessary, and inform me when you are ready to seek the king." Okay. And I don't need those. Okay. Alright. Isami Young continues. "The wards barring access to the king's sanctuary can only be nullified through the use of enchanted keystones, the self-same method employed 5 years ago when first the king was summoned to Erosia. It was with great regret that we were forced to sanction the slaying of the guardians who then held the keystones." Why did you kill the guardians? Okay. "For none were in our possession at the time. By the grace of the elementals, however, we have been spared that burden on this occasion. Kuplu Kup confided in me that he had been entrusted with a set of keystones by the Muggles Guard themselves. Yet, wishing not to betray their confidence, he begged me to find some other means to gain entry to the king's sanctum. Alas, I have been unable to do so, and dare not labor any longer, for fear that the Muggles might succumb to the corrupting influence of their liege lord. We must needs have Kuplo Kup's keystones, Nyra. Pray go to him and beg his assistance. Pray go to him and beg his assistance. He awaits you at West Shore Pyre. Impress upon him our great need, and I am certain he will yield." Okay. Let's go speak with him. Oh, he's just... okay. He's still in Gordonia. Ooh, Christmas decorations are up. Has anybody done the Christmas stuff yet? Blue Cop says, so, how will you do it, Kupo? Oh, he told you about that. Well, if there truly is no other way, I'll do it, Kupo. Take the ferry to Sweet Bloom Pyre. Sweet Bloom Pyre. I'll go on ahead. Right. Cutscene. Kupta Kappa says, don't you dare lie to me, Kupo. I know air planning, and I won't allow it. Koplo Kop says, open your eyes, Kupo. The king will never be satisfied, no matter how many crystals you bring him. Kupli Keep says, we offered you a choice, and this is how you repay us by consorting with this human. Cup to Kappa says, Imperials, Garleans, Sis, you're no different from the rest of them. Actually, you're worse, Kupo. Kupli Keep says, traitor to his kinsmuggle. He plots treason against the crown. Kupti Koop says, enough. Kuplu Kop will answer for his crimes soon enough, as will all who defy the will of good King Muggle Mog 12th. May he reign forever. Kupo. Oh, they're just walking off? Okay. The Kuplu Koop says, the king is planning to purge the Twelveswood of his enemies, Kupo. We have got to stop him before it's too late. Yeah, it sucked to have these guys tempered. Hail, Kupo Koop. Kuplu Koop says, the entrance to Thorn March is deep within the bramble patch, Kupo. If you take me there, I can nullify the ward, but be warned, the Muggle's Guard has set traps to lure enchanted beasts. I can't hide from them, so you'll need to protect me, Kupo. Guard. What guarding entails, certain duties require that you escort an NPC to a designated location while guarding them from enemy attacks. Should you stray too far from the NPC... Okay. Following to guard an NPC. The escort attempt will fail if the NPC is incapacitated. You stray too far from them or you change areas. In the event of failure, you may return to the starting point and try again. So, basic escort quest. They didn't have those little tips when I did this the first time. Right, where do we need to go? Oh, that's a decent ways. Coming? Yeah. Okay. I sense a hostile presence, Kupo. I sense a hostile presence. Kupo. He heals up. That's good. Nice. Okay. Okay. So far, so good. Okay, now we need to go that way. There we go. Blue Cope says, "We're here, Kupo. I don't see any more beasts, do you?" No, I do not. Leastwise, not yet. Alright. Kupo Cope continues. "Are you ready to face the king, Kupo? Then step closer to the word. Raise your hand and focus. Like when you attune to an Aetheryte, Kupo. I'll open the way for you." Nice. Okay. Cutscene. Blue Cope says, "The rest is up to you, Kupo. Now go and teach those foolish muggles a lesson and send the king back whence he came." Alright. Alright, I'll see you there. Oh, this is hard. Who knows? Alright. I don't think I can. No, I can't. Well, that's too bad. I should get myself a couple of dances so I can dance. I need to level my white mage up so I can skip the queue. But they're mostly from... I think they're mostly from... the gambling place. Do I have that unlocked? Doesn't look like it. You know what? I think I'll go see if I can go find the unlock for that while waiting for this. Alright, let's see here. I think it's a dude that's right out here. Let's see. No, that's Samurai Quest. Might be this one. I think it's this one. Let's see here. Do be careful with those. Break anything, and I shall be forced to deduct it from your salary. Pardon? Okay, yeah, gold saucer. Yeah, okay. Alright. Okay. Go to the airship landing, I think. Present the golden airship ticket. Yeah, airship landing. Okay. Here's golden ticket. Yep. And don't forget the crystal. I didn't know I was in the middle of the desert. I wonder if they did that because of Las Vegas. So there's a lot of things here in that saucer. A lot of things. Alright, let's... Yep. Okay, a new stage has been added to the Gold Saucer active time event. Oh, Air Force One has a new stage. To chronicle this edition, the key schedule has been updated. Speak with Gold Saucer attendant. Huh. Interesting. Okay. I don't find that crystal, I am going to forget to attune to it. Oh. It'll only take 5 seconds. And there we go. Okay. What are they doing? Trying to play whack-a-mole with each other? And, I don't know. That's so weird. Kupo, from the 7 hells. Meddling adventurers over my Oh. Muggles guard to arms. Defend the king, Kupo. Okay. That's the Muggles guard. They'll come back. Yeah. This is such a weird fight. I'm telling you. Let's hit grade on that. Because we don't, like, need it. Just, it would be nice. It would look cool. That's all. Potentially look cool. Alright. Alright. We are still in a cutscene, and Kupo Culp says, "You did it, Kupo! You did it! Good King Muggle Mob 12th. Mog 12. Good King Muggle Mog 12. Bit. May his mighty soul rest in peace, is no more." I shudder to think what might have happened had you not stopped the Muggle's guard when you did. Thank you, Nyra. Perhaps now they'll come to their senses and stop playing at fairy tales. Rest assured that the chieftain will have choice words with them too. I should go and tell Pumpkin Pack that the king is no more, Kupo. She is with Rhea O at Camp Tranquil and can relay the news to the chieftain. Oh, that's I bet, yeah, that's the conjurer trainer over there. Actually, white mage, because, yeah, it's later, but, yeah, anyway, you know what I mean. It's a conjurer after they get their soul stone for white mage. Okay, World of Wonders, let's go here. Flying is so wonderful. And yes, that's the conjurer. Yeah, the white mage trainer. Did not mean to click on her. I hate these. Stand so close to each other. Pumpkin Pack says, "Do I dare believe my ears? Good King Muggle Mog 12, may his magnificent virtue may his magnificent virtue serve as an example to us all, has fallen? All Muggle kind owes you a debt, Kupo. Ah, and I sense Rhea O wishes to congratulate you as well. I shall let you two speak without fear of interruption." Cool. Okay. Rhea O Sina says, "Your bravery in service of the Twelveswood and her Muggles shall not be forgotten, Nyra. My sister will doubtless wish to hear the tale of this great victory from the mouth of the woman responsible. Pray return to the Lotus Stand and treat her to a full account of the day's events, while the details are yet fresh in your mind." Okay. I will go. The silent conjurer says, "The elder seeds here is expecting you, madam. May I show you in?" Yes, yes you may. Alright. in the Lotus Steer. Hail, Elder Seer, and we're in a cutscene. Oh, Scotians are here. Okay, Elder Seer says, Nyra, you are returned to us unharmed and victorious. Thus have I 2 reasons to be glad. Yet, many questions remain unanswered. If you would be so kind as to oblige me, I would fain hear all that occurred in the Thorn March. Well, you see, things and things happened. Elder Seer says, then it is as we feared. Yeda says, the king really is a primal. But he really isn't, is he? I mean, the Muggles don't worship him, for one thing. He's not even a god to them. That doesn't sound like any primal I've ever heard of. Papa Limosis. Then mayhap the fault lies with the definition. The fact remains that though a combination of the power contained in crystals and the force of their collective faith, the Muggles called forth the being that by rights should not exist. Moreover, when slain, said being left no corpse, the aether which comprised him instead being scattered to the 4 winds. Elder Seer says, according to the accepted definition, he may not be a primal, but the mode of his manifestation was in every respect the same. Which means, Papa Limo says, Ascians, this whole business reeks of their handiwork. Kupo Cope says, Kupo? They said it was a masked man who had taught them how, years ago. But Gredonia has no shortage of masked men, and I never thought to question. Papa Limo says, confound it all. How many more will they ensnare with their tainted gifts? Elder Seer says, too many, I fear, so long as the paragons to stir their embers, fools to build the pyre, and crystals to feed the flames. Ever and again shall we suffer primal visitation, a somber thought, but a solitary one. Solitary? She continues, my heartfelt thanks, Nyra. Already the information you have provided has proven invaluable. The Grand Serpent Marshal and I have much to discuss. Yeda says, oh, before you do, my lady, I was hoping we might finish discussing that other matter. Elder Seer says, the matter of which you speak has even now been settled. The Scotians shall not want for support. We shall be glad to send additional supplies to Reverend's Toll. Yeda goes, we knew we could count on you, my lady. Papa Limo says, well, Yeda and I remain to discuss the particulars of our arrangement with the Elder Seer. Mayhap you could return to the Waking Sands, and appraise the ascendant of all that has transpired. I nod. Okay. Waking Sands. Menphilia. Menphilia says, "It is good to see you hale and healthy, Nyra. I received word from Yida and Papalimo that you had felled good King Muggle 12th, but I had hoped to hear your version of the tale." So, it was as they said, summoned with the same methods used by the beast tribes and taught by the Ascians. Though, unfortunately, this incident did not, or, though unfortunately, this incident did at least serve to remind the Elder Seedseer of our usefulness. Her offer of additional support could not have come at a better time. My thanks, Nyra. Menphilia says, "Owing to the tireless efforts of all concerned, we are, at long last, ready to bid farewell to Vesper Bay. So as to avoid drawing undue attention, we shall make the journey to Reverend's Toll in small groups, departing at irregular intervals. Lest you doubt, it is still my intention to conduct future operations openly, but on this particular occasion, the need for caution overrides all other concerns. To move north as one ponderous caravan would only serve to invite attack. It seems only right that I should be the last to leave, and I would have you remain with me until the end, Nyra. Upon my departure, the Waking Sands will formally cease to be our headquarters, and the premises will be given into the care of Orionje. I had thought to relinquish the property, but he was quite adamant, and I had not the heart to disagree. These walls have borne witness to some of the brightest and darkest moments in our order's history. Mayhap it is best that we do not forsake them entirely. Orionje shall remain here and devote his energies to studying the nature of primals. By the grace of the 12, he will one day discover the permanent solution that we have sought for so long. Of course, he will not be alone. Alicia shall continue to work closely with him as well. Should they require our assistance, I have their assurances that they will not hesitate to contact us. Speaking of Orionje, would you inquire of him if any tasks remain undone? I cannot escape the feeling that I have forgotten something important. Staff on the wall, maybe? Down the hallway, Nyra. Down the hallway. There you go. Orionje, hail! Orionje says, "Thou art ever welcome, Nyra, but I require no assistance. Pray, take thy leave unburdened by concern for my well-being. Verily, thy..." Oh, he uses such big words. "Verily, thy countenance bespeaks a desire to quit this place without further delay. Mayhap thou thinkest this chapter of our tale concluded, that these halls should rightly be consigned to the annals of history. In a man's eagerness to seize the future, how readily he doth set down the past. Full many a proud pioneer hath bravely driven into the great unknown, only to find there the banner of his ancestor, faded by the eons, and still man glorieth in his discoveries. 'Tis though his pride that the wisdom doth ever give way to ignorance, while they who lurk in the shadow remain hidden, lost no sooner than they are found. And he bows. Oof. Be not offended, Nyra. Thy conduct hath ever been beyond reproach. Despite thy surpassing strength and all thy many victories, thou hast ever been so convinced of thine own greatness as to imagine thyself above the failings of thy forebears. Mayhap it is the echo which hath opened thine eyes to the lessons of history. Would that the same could be said of cutscene. Menthilia, screaming, apparently. Orionje says, whence came that cry? The solar 12 foretold. The ascendant, the antecedent. Uh-oh, Menthilia's on the floor. Menthilia says, Nyra, you must... Uh-oh, you have an echo. Echolocation. Okay, Menthilia's in her office. Menthilia says, tell me, Luke Squaw, would you have done the same? Question mark says, Luke Squaw, Lilifer, was a remarkable man, wise beyond mortal measure. Would that I had met him prior to his passing. Ocean. Menthilia says, an Ascian here? How? The Ascian says, how readily you see. You are indeed gifted. Antecedent. Menthilia says, but you are not like the others. Your robes. Yes, and the Ascian says, gifted but ignorant. Yet I shall not judge you harshly. The fault lies with your forebears. It has been millennia. Oh, he changes his tone and continues talking. Mine are the robes of an emissary, okay. Unlike he who came before, I have no quarrel with you. Menthilia says, he who... You speak of Labrahea? The Ascian says, Labrahea is a warrior. He fought. He fell. He may yet learn from his mistakes. Menthilia says, then he is still... The Ascian says, come, I only confirm that which you already knew. There is no occasion, there is no concession, no oblivion, only expulsion. Menthilia says, you, what are you? And then Tataru walks in. Tataru says, we're ready when you are, my lady, if there's nothing else. Tataru is puzzled when Monfilia says nothing. And she says, "Is something the matter?" She does not see the Ascian. Tataru continues, "Ah, I feel the same way. After everything that's happened here, it feels strange to leave, but I'm sure we'll soon get used to reverence toll. Well, I'll let you say your goodbyes. Take as long as you like, my lady. We shall depart whenever you're ready." The Ascian says, "It is only to be expected. She lacks the gift and the knowledge both. To her, we are indistinct." Monfilia says, I do not understand." The Ascian says, "Shadowless, shadowless, fleshless, formless. What truth is there in each tale is diluted by time and telling. Knowledge dictates expectation, and expectation colors perception. Thus did she perceive not. So it is with all but a chosen few, even you, when young, could not yet see with eyes unclouded." Monfilia shakes her head and says, "You know nothing about me, nothing." The Ascian says, "The gift grants you clarity. It grants you focus. With it, you may in time come to see us as we were, rather than this crude approximation." Monfilia says, "Labra Hea did not think so highly of the echo." Yasun says, "Labra Hea is wrong about a great many things. The echo is indeed a gift, albeit one you have yet to master." Monfilia takes a step forward and says, And if we did?" The Ascian says, "There would be no strife between our people, for we would be of one mind. I leave as I came, in peace, Ascendant. May we meet again as friends." "Interesting." Monfilia says, "Wait. Stay where you are." Oh, and the Ascendant turns around and attacks her. And she screams and falls to the floor. And the Ascendant says, "Mayhap I was indelicate. 'Tis a mercy she shields her children from his grace with such resolve." "Was it also by her hand that you survived the ardor, I wonder?" And he disappears. Back to the present. Monfilia, who's currently on the floor, I do believe, groans and says, I take it there is no need to explain." She continues after getting up, "Save your concern. He did me no lasting harm. Whatever his intention was, it was not to kill." Tataru Orange ran in, and Tataru says, "I heard a cry. What happened? Are you alright?" "You look faint. Do you need to lie down? I could fetch you a flask of my special tonic." Monfilia says, turning to Oriange, "Oriange, send word to the students of Bastidian. Tell them to scour the archives, the forbidden tomes in particular. If there is any reference to an Ascian robed in white, however opaque, I would know of it. Oriondra says, An Ascian, my lady? Was that what gave you cause to cry out? She nods. Oriondra continues, I did, but moments ago, glimpse a figure clad in white, set forth from the waking sands. Yet Ascians are wont to employ teleportation magics. Why would one be so brazen? Menthilius says, I know not and care not. Find him, Nyra. Turn every stone in Vasper Bay if you have to. Oriondra says, Pray attend me to Taru. He walks out of the room with Tataru in tow. Okay. The Gifted. Search for the white-robed Ascian. Okay. Where is this dude? Oh. Right there in plain sight. He's still a question mark. But the Ascian says, I am told that you are the warrior of light, but I would know for myself. I shall walk north, and you may choose to follow. Know, however, that you will be waylaid if you do. You may even perish. Should you survive, we shall speak anon. Interesting. Ooh, big guy. Okay. Follow the white-robed Ascian. I don't actually see him. Oh, it looks ominous. Come on, Froggy. Get out of there. I'm gonna have to deal with you in a fight. Okay. Okay. Alright. Let's talk to the Yassian. The Yassian says, "Remarkable, truly remarkable. I thank you for granting me this indulgence. None save she who bested La Brahea. Oh, excuse me. None save she who bested La Brahea could endure such examination. Have the laws of men grown so twisted in my absence that it is now permitted to lay hands upon an emissary? You bore witness to my audience with the Ascendiant, did you not? Then you know I acted only in self-defense. I realize the same cannot be said of La Brahea. Even amongst his brethren, he is considered unique. Nevertheless, I cannot wholly condemn his misdeeds, for through them we discovered you. One so strong in the gift that she could cast us out. Your mother favors you still. That much is plain. But surely you must feel it. Her influence wanes, and her strength shall soon be spent. These lands, these people, this world, all shall soon change. As it was, so shall it begin, as it should always have been. Doubt my claims and question my motives, if you will. Only believe me when I say this. I am Elidibus, emissary, bearer of the word of the one true God, and we shall meet again. Hoo boy. Oh, the frog's back. Ugh. Okay, waking sands. We'll just tell her, because I was lazy. Okay. Minfilia. Hail Minfilia. Minfilia says, "Thank the gods you've returned, Nyra. After you left, I began to worry that I might have sent you to your doom. I take it our visitor proved elusive." Beg pardon? He was waiting for you? What did you do? What did he say? As it was, so shall it be again? Of when does he speak? And of what, exactly? The words of this Elidibus portend much, but reveal nothing. save perhaps a measure of disdain for La Brahea. I had hoped for answers, but it seems I shall have to be content with a wealth of additional questions. Yeah. Memphilia continues. Let us set aside the matter of this ASEAN until after we have completed our move to the Rising Stones. There is but one final favor I would ask of you before I depart. I believe I mentioned before that my father was a member of the Alamagion resistance. The truth, however, is more complicated than that. As far as the Emperor knew, he was their spy. He maintained the deception for nigh on half a decade, furnishing the resistance with vital imperial secrets while feeding his paymaster subtly conceived misinformation. When he died some 15 years ago, my father left behind his journal, which I have closely guarded ever since. It contains every shred of information he and his agents could steal on what they believed to be the single greatest threat to Erosia, the Primals. Its wisdom has guided me through the years, though there is much within I still do not understand. It is my hope that Orionje will fare better. Tell him to treat it with care. It is all I have left of my father. Okay. Oh, hello. How goes it for you? It goes okay for me. It goes okay. Let's see, where's Orionje? Sweet! It's always good when it goes good, yeah? Because it's good. Hail, Orionje. Orionje says, I thought thee departed. To what end dost thou linger? Thank you, and yes, I am doing post. Hopefully, I will get through it soon. But yep, I am definitely doing post. Orionje says, the father's final behest, the daughter's lifelong labor. It is no small thing to surrender such a cherished memento. Well, can I imagine the antecedent's pain? Upon mine honor, I swear to spare no effort in the study of these materials, lest my lady's sacrifice be in vain. Thank you. Either way, I gotta go through it, so I can't really skip it, because I still gotta do the quest, so. Memphilia! Link Pearls Nyra! Nyra! This is Memphilia! Like, you just Link Pearled me. Of course I knew who it is. Why are you... Memphilia continues, forgive me, but I could wait no longer. I have departed for the Rising Stones. If you have yet to... Once you have given the journal to Orionje, I bet you come to the 7th haven in Reverence Toll. Totaru will be there to show you inside our new headquarters. Assuming you have already attuned to it, you may wish to make use of our new etherite in reverence toll. After all, it is right on our doorstep. This is true. Okay, I will skip those trial unlocks. Reverence toll. Here we go. I don't think post is that long, at least not anymore, because when I look over at the website I have pulled up over here, it's not really, it's just like a couple of sections and then you go into Heaven's Word, so I don't know. It does go off on a tangent though, you're right. We'll see. The back of my throat is itchy. I hate that. Tataru says, "Oh, Nyra, you're here. Good, good. We were all wondering when you'd show up." As I was just telling your... Oh, Selfborn says. Stealthborn? Slaffborn. Probably. That one guy says. As I was just telling your respective receptionists here, I am pleased to inform you that all the documents have been prepared and all signatures signed. The Rising Stones is officially yours. Thank you. Some of them are just like, oh boy. I mean, I can make it a little easier, like Illidan. That's easy. Anyway, Tataru continues, or Tataru says, "Splendid! From this day forward, I will spare no effort in seeing that and seeing that it is as welcoming and comfortable a home for us as the Waking Sands ever was." That said, this is all somewhat intimidating, is it not? So many unfamiliar places and unfamiliar faces. Take that odd-looking fellow over there, for example. He's been eyeing us most suspiciously ever since we arrived. I cannot help but wonder if we are truly safe here. There's a weird dude in the market square with a mask on. What? Oh. Okay, no, it's good. Slothborn says, "Ah, that man. I can't say I've spoken to him myself, but rumor has it he's come to hunt for ancient treasures in the Crystal Tower." Oh, the Crystal Tower. Slothborn says, or continues, "You've seen the structure I speak of, no? It'd be hard to miss. That massive pillar of shining crystal that looms high over the land just to the southeast of here." It looks weird and it sounds weird. He continues, if the 12, if the tales are to be believed, it's a remnant of some ancient civilization. The details remain a mystery, and that's no doubt why it's drawn adventurers and scholars from all over looking to unearth its secrets. The man over there is no exception, and if my instincts are true, he knows more than most. If you're curious about the tower yourself, you could do worse than to talk to him and see what he knows. By the way, the crystal tower is kind of important. Not to spoil anything, but yeah. But anyway. Slothborn continues, why, if I weren't otherwise occupied with my duties here, I'd have half a mind to join you. I mean, just look at it. I can scarce begin to imagine what wonders lie inside. Yeah, I like the cat guy. You should, okay, so try not to spoil anything. Do it. Do it. It's interesting. And it comes up later. Tataru says, why, that's wonderful to hear. Rest assured that this receptionist will work just as hard to see that our efforts do not skip a beat despite the relocation. And with that, Nyra, I do believe it's time you officially announced your presence to everyone inside. The Ascendiant and the others will surely be overjoyed to see you. The Crystal Tower. The Crystal Tower quest series is now available from the Outlandish Man. In order to progress in the main scenario, you must first complete certain quests in the Crystal Tower series. Yeah. While you're granted a respite from your duties as a Scotian, use your time to probe the depths of the Crystal Tower and see what ancient secrets may be gleaned. Yeah, Crystal Tower. Okay. Let's just continue here. Do I need to? No, it's over here. I always get so confused. Quest unlocks, or not quest unlocks, instance unlocks. So many instance unlocks. Feels so much bigger than the sands. It just feels bigger. It's probably not, but it feels bigger. Nope. Go away, map. Yeah, it's their new Batcave. Hail Minfilia. Ooh, cutscene. And everybody walks in except for Orange. Memphilia says, well, it is certainly spacious. I guess it's bigger. Well, okay, I guess she's got a point. And she didn't forget the staff. Though it seems it's a different color. Memphilia continues, today marks a new beginning for the Squishins of the Seventh Dawn. For today, we declare our independence. Well, I think it was yesterday I was doing one of those unlocks, one of the instance unlocks, and Balsar's armor changed color for no apparent reason. So I was like, Alphanaud says, we shall henceforth be beholden to no nation, but serve all of Erosia's people proudly and openly. But this does not mean that we will sever our ties to the Erosian alliance. On the contrary, the Ascendant, antecedent, and I shall endeavor to strengthen them. Rest assured, however, that we shall not permit political considerations to influence our decisions. He LB'd? Oh, really? Well, I read a lot of books, so that makes sense. I'd mispronounce a lot of stuff. Memphilia says, our identity remains unchanged, as does our colors. We are the scions of the Seventh Dawn, and our single purpose is to safeguard the future of Erosia. Thank you. And everybody goes, for Erosia! Ah! Oh, Memphilia walked around her desk to talk to me. And she says, a moment of your time, Nyra. I would speak of Ilibeth. Ilibeth? I thought it was Ilibeth. Pretty sure Oriondra says, pardon the intrusion, my lady, but the matter which bringeth me will admit no delay. Mine every attempt to contact the students of Balstidian hath been met with silence. Why didn't you just say, I tried to contact them and was unable to reach them, Andre? Memphilia says, no one will respond? How odd. Allow me to try. Andre, he's always so... He takes no less than 5 sentences to say a simple word like, no. Memphilia says, no response. Truly they would not ignore us. Oriondre says, they have never yet, my lady. I fear we must assume the worst. I'm worried something bad happened to Okay. Memphilia says, no. No, I will not believe it. An outpost, perhaps, but not their headquarters. Their words are beyond circumvention. Had they come under attack, they would most certainly have raised the alarm. None could penetrate their sanctum unnoticed. But for those who lack the gift and the knowledge both, oh no. You'll notice too, it's not playing that music, but when something bad is like about to happen or is just starting to happen, it'll play a certain melody in the background very quietly. It's not doing that yet. So, I don't know. Mythilia says, contact their agents in the field at once. If aught has befallen the students of Bastidion, they may know of it. Though the thought of it pains me, until such time as we have evidence to the contrary, we can but assume the worst. Accordingly, we must needs seek another source of information on Elibis. Uriondre says, "'Tis possible that others in the homeland are possessed of such knowledge. Be fairly warned, however, they are unlike to yield it unconditionally." Mythilia says, "Do what you must." And Philia turns to me and says, "Yet another unforeseen and unwelcome development. What could be next, I wonder? A visit from a crimson-clad Asian, perhaps? Or Onker or Bruce? And which of our allies will then fall silent? For a time, I thought we had gained the upper hand. When you shattered the crystal of darkness and cast out La Brahea, I dared to hope that we had found a way to rid ourselves of the Asian menace." The Asian menace. I am not going to say it's a reference, but dude. Mythilia continues, "But I was wrong. He endures and may yet return. Upon that point I have no doubt that Elibis spoke true. Yet there must be a way to destroy them utterly, a way to spare this world their unholy meddling. Just unholy meddling. I dare not consider the alternative. There are forces at work we do not understand, Nyra. I discern them all around, in disturbances too great, too numerous to be dismissed as mere coincidence." There's a disturbance in that. Okay. "Doubtless the paragons are involved, but how and to what end is far from clear. I know not what will come, but I do know that we will rise and meet it as one." "Ah, my Stuart hero, your face is a picture of resolve. I know that you will be ready when the time comes. With luck, however, that will not be for a while yet. Pray, return to your private affairs with my blessing. Should anything arise, you will be informed." "Corelli, where are you?" Footsteps in the darkness. I do not know how to say his name. Nabrels? Anyway, this particular essence says, "Your intercession was not foretold." Elibis says, "You object?" Nabriel says, we question. Our plans are in motion, your intentions unclear. I know his name. Ilibis says, they survived the seventh Arbor and are stronger now in the gift. Does that not intrigue you? Neobril says, no, it does not. Ilibis says, serve as you will. So too shall I. We labor not at cross purposes. The wisdom of his plan shall become apparent in time when the veil is lifted from their eyes. And at long last they see. I wonder if that other Ascian's going to be in the next expansion then. A realm reawoken. Wow. Okay, Natalia. No, it's still not really something I want. Thanks. Does that mean I finished one of the... Oh yeah, I finished one of the patches. Okay. Yeah. Menthilia says, truly there is no rest for the weary. Scarce had I begun to make myself at home when I received a request for assistance from Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern. It would appear their storehouse in Horizon has been the target of a series of covert robberies. Minor as they seemed in isolation, occasional discrepancies in the manifest were long dismissed as clerical errors, yet was only during the concern's annual audit that a pattern became apparent. Significant quantities of crystals, and only crystals, were missing. I need hardly tell you what that may imply. Yeah. The brass blades charged with investigating the thefts believe that someone within the concern is selling the crystals for profit. Alas, they have yet been unable to identify the likely suspect, and the concern's proprietors have grown frustrated by their lack of progress. Needless to say, I would not have agreed to intervene had the stolen goods been of merely monetary value. If there is even a possibility that the thief acts not out of self-interest but in service to a primal, we can ill afford to wait for the blades to realize their mistake. Pray, depart for Horizon at your earliest convenience. Rendezvous with Ishtola when you arrive. She and Thancred have already begun a preliminary investigation. I have every confidence that the three of you will get to the bottom of these thefts. I only hope our fears prove unfounded when you do. Yeah, it doesn't exactly slide out of the mouth. Okay. Let's see here. Here we go. That's been bugging me. Oh, sure here. Alright, hail Y'shtola. Y'shtola says, "Ah, Nyra! Your assistance is most welcome. I have already spoken at length with the brass blades of the rose, albeit to little avail. It would seem that the thieves took great pains to conceal their activities. I could go into further detail, but your time might be better spent in conversation with Fufulupa. He is the officer charged with leading the investigation, and I would only be repeating that which he related to me. If aught eluded my attention, mayhap it would not elude yours." Their names, I swear. Floofy floof 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 floof. There's the floofy floof. Of course, it's a Lala. Floof floof. Floof floof. Lapa says, "Nyra, what a pleasure to see you again. Y'shtola said to expect you. Terrible business, these thefts. We have yet to confirm the quantity of crystals stolen, but I dare say it may be greater than... but never mind that. I have news to share. A short while ago, the driver of a heavily laden carriage refused to halt for inspection and broke through one of our checkpoints on the Royal Allegan Sunway. The cart bolted off towards Eastern Thanaland, where, thank the gods, I hear that our colleagues were able to apprehend them without further incident." Y'shtola says, "A speeding carriage? That would seem a curious choice for thieves of such proven cunning, yet the Almagia do have a foothold in Eastern Thanaland. And what of their cargo? Did they carry the crystals we seek?" Fufu Lapa says, "We should be receiving a report any moment now, but I fail to see what else it could." Thancred. Thancred says, "Did you miss me, friends? I'm back, but I fear I come bearing disappointing news. Or, on second thought, perhaps it's good news, after all." Y'shtola says, "Thancred, wherever have you been off to?" Thancred crosses his arms and said, "I figured you had everything under control here, so I just took a brief excursion to the east to check up on our Amalgia friends." Yes, Thancred shenanigans. Thancred continues, "And wouldn't you believe it, I happened upon a runaway carriage on the way, and even was able to do my small part to help my friends in the brass blades intercept it. In all my years, I have never seen such a prodigious quantity of somnus. That's a drug, if I remember correctly. Think marijuana. The blades are calling it one of the greatest hauls they've ever seen. The stolen crystals, on the other hand, are nowhere to be found." Fufu Lapa says, "Is that so? Alas, I suppose we have no choice but to resume our search elsewhere." Thancred says, "We should reassess our options as well. Come with us, Nyra." Yeah. I do. You got the crystals to summon primals, and you got all the different crystals to do crafting, and then you have those crystals that circle the hero or the warrior of light when she's like having daydreams, and then you got Hydralyn herself. There's crystals everywhere. Hail Thancred. Thancred says, against all expectation, it would seem the Amalgia are innocent of this particular spat of crimes. By all indications, they have yet to relinquish the stores of crystals exhausted during their last attempt to summon Ifrit. Yeah. Thancred continues, what I can't fathom is why anyone else would go to such lengths to obtain crystals and in such quantities. It cannot be that we are dealing with simple thieves. If their motives were profit, why would they limit their trade to crystals alone? Plainly, we are missing something. Plainly, Thancred. Thancred continues. While you think about what it might be, I shall inform Orgery of our progress, or lack thereof.
Now then.
Oh, it's voiced. Yay!
Tis I. The situation may be more complicated than we anticipated.
That's it?
Indeed, I shall remain watchful. Ere thou goest, another matter requireth thine attention. A young maiden, full eager to... Wherefore inquirest thou of her fairness? Oh, very well. Be she damsel or devil, I shall direct her steps to Revenant's toll. Save thine insinuations for one given to such impropriety. Thou shalt not find me amenable.
Thancred for you. Oh, it's her.
Far across the sea from the land of Domar have we traveled. We seek audience with the ruler of these lands. Who here speaks for you?
Thancred says, any bright ideas? A solitary flash of insight? No? Well then, for want of a better suggestion, I say we try picking Fufulupa's brain again. Who knows? If we work together, we may yet find something of use nestled away within it. Okay. Fufulupa says, oh, but it is good to see you return. I have given some thought to the matter, and I have just... Oh, I have it on. Turn that off. Okay. Shtula says, calm yourself, Fufulupa. What is the disturbing possibility of which you speak? I was contemplating, or Fufulupa says, I was contemplating as to how the thieves' activities escaped our notice for so long, and then it came to me. What if there is someone among our own ranks conspiring with them? A traitor in our own midst. Tancred says, "It would be most unfortunate if your fears proved well-founded, Fufulupa." Ishtola says, "Indeed. If, for reasons of security, the concern decided to transfer the remaining crystals stored in Horizon to another location, their plans would be discovered the moment the brass blades were informed." Tancred says, but such a shipment would surely be well guarded. Should thieves as wily as ours risk open confrontation?" Ishtola says, "Mayhap not, but neither would the concern be eager to present them with such an obvious target. Nay, they might indeed elect to carry out the transfer in secret, to entrust the goods to, let us say, a lone a lone feline miner, traveling without escort so as not to attract undue attention." Fufulupa says, "Bahu, I see. Yes, the concern may well elect to do that, but to travel with so much cargo would be a strenuous task indeed, and this miner would certainly need to rest upon the way, mayhap north of the bridge to Hammerley?" Tancred says, "A fine spot for a rest. Would you not agree, Nyra? You lie in wait to the north, and I shall do the same to the south." Fufulupa says, "Forgive me, my friends, but I have received new orders, and I must inform my men at once." That sword is almost as tall as he is. Tancred says, "Call me a cynic, but I would be surprised if these thieves lie down their arms and surrender. See that you come prepared to offer them some encouragement." Okay. We are going there. That's where we're going. I can fly. Yes, it is so annoying not being able to fly. Alright. Is that it? No. Okay. Oh, he's dead. There. Anyone else? Ah, Ishtola. Oh. Hail Ishtola. Ishtola says, "Stubborn to the last as expected. Are you unharmed?" Tancred runs up and says, a gang of sea wolf thieves, and in Thanalan no less. I suppose there's a first time for everything." Ishtola says, "Sea wolves? All of them?" Tancred says, "Aye, and all with the same taste in facial tattoos. Blue, in case you are wondering." Ishtola says, our thieves are a long way from home. Ishtola continues, Thancred, if you would be so good as to attend to the outstanding matters in Horizon, I have inquiries to make. Thancred nods. He's doing a Warrior of Light impression. Thancred says, to Horizon then. Fufulupa will want to hear about your meeting with the thieves. Back. Fufulupa! Cutscene. Fufulupa says, on behalf of the brass blades of the Rose, I thank you for your service to Horizon. But we have not been idle. While you were afield, we succeeded in identifying the traitor within our ranks. Thancred says, is that so? By your leave, I should very much like to have a word with the fellow in private. Fufulupa says, no, I am afraid that will not be possible. Regrettably, he, managed to subdue the unit of blades dispatched to detain him and make good his escape. Thancred goes, oh, for the love of... And how did he manage that exactly? Your men haven't been sampling the somnus we confiscated, have they? Or was he a giant in disguise? Yeah. Fufulupa says, no, but he was quite strong. A sea wolf. Lamazian, born and raised, I believe. But not to worry, we will find him. You have my word on that. I have this image of a bunch of Lalafell just chasing this giant. Thancred says, I see. Pray keep me apprised of the developments. Thancred gets a link shell and says, yes? She's standing next to me. Understood. Thancred says, I fear our time together is at an end, my friend. Your services are required elsewhere. Awfully disappointing, I know, but one must follow where duty leads. You might try to look a little disappointed, or do you mean to give me another one of your stoic nods? You do, don't you? Hail Thancred. Ooh, dies. Thancred says, the antecedent bid me tell you to make for Vesper Bay, where young Ulfenold awaits your coming most eagerly. It was he who requested your assistance. Some commotion or incident. I am not privy to the details. Well, you do whatever it is that Ulfenold has planned for you. I shall endeavor to track down our traitorous brass blade. And when I do, You may rest assured that we will have our answers. Okay. Yay, I gotta go talk to the whiny elf. No. He sounds so whiny. Okay. I got hiccups. I'm sorry. Elfinode. Elfinode says, you are late. No matter. I know where our visitors are headed. From what I have been able to gather, this vessel belongs to a band of Domians who seek an audience with the Sultana. You are familiar with Doma, yes? In Orthard? Okay. Alphanode continues. Well, like the rest of the nations of the eastern continent, it is ruled by the Garlean Empire. Given our visitors' unannounced arrival, as well as the state of their ship, I suspect they did not leave their homeland under the best circumstances. Needless to say, I should be very interested to hear their tale, and, more importantly, what they know of the current state of affairs in the Empire. Such information could prove most useful. We would be fools not to pursue this opportunity, do you not think? Come with me to Oda, Nyra. Unless I am mistaken, I am rarely mistaken, we will find the Dolmens bickering with the Sultan Sworn on the Royal Promenade. You are uncertain of your role in the proceedings? Insurance. If our guests are not themselves Imperial agents, it seems fair to assume that they may be being pursued by some. If not, who better than you to have on hand in the event of an unforeseen diplomatic incident? Besides, I do so enjoy your sparkling repartee. Satisfied? Good. I shall see you in Uda. Uda. I have to teleport to Uda. Oh, I should use the Ethernet. Oh. Okay. Okay. I never noticed there's water over there. Okay. Bartholomew says, it matters not how many times you ask. Without the necessary permissions, none shall pass. Refugee leader says, pray understand, good sir. We have not the leisure to lodge a formal petition. Time is of the essence. All I ask is that you summon your superior. Allow me to plead my case. Surely you can grant us that small kindness. Bartholomew says, away with you, and darken these doors no longer. I will not ask again. Refugee leader says, you know not what you do. Elfinode walks up and addresses her. He says, I gather your pleas fall upon deaf ears. Refugee leader says, a loyal man with a cold heart. I know his kind well. Elfinode says, I hope that you will find me more to your liking. Elfinode Lilifair, Lily, oh, Lilifair at your service, a friend. Which I believe makes me very nearly unique, in this part of the world at least. Few, indeed, are your allies in Uda, yet you will need some if you wish to endeavor yourselves to the wealthy and powerful. Listening to the music for half a second. Alphinote says, "Pray, join me and my associates at the quicksand. There you may explain your situation to us, and we shall see if there is aught we can do to help." Okay. Back down to the Ethernet. Go to here. Here we go.
We have traveled some several thousand miles across the sea from the nation of Doma, in hopes that we might find sanctuary in these lands.
Sanctuary, Lady Yugiri?
Aye. Lying within Othard, Doma was under the dominion of the Garlean Empire, as I'm sure you are aware. When the War of Succession broke out in Garlemald, we espied an opportunity to free ourselves from the yoke of imperial oppression and took up arms. Only to be crushed. And so I gathered what few Domans escaped the reckoning and guided them hither to your shores.
A war of succession? Then the Emperor... Forgive me. You said that Doma was under Imperial rule, did you not?
Doma is gone. Razed to the ground as an example to the other provinces.
12 have mercy. And your people?
On a ship anchored in Vesper Bay, flying borrowed colors. Many were complicit in the rebellion, or akin to those who were. They will not come ashore until I send word that it is safe to do so. I sought an audience with your rulers, but was summarily refused.
The lords of Ul'dah are not wont to entertain foreign refugees without suitable encouragement.
Mayhap I was foolish to expect otherwise. But our supplies run low and we have young ones in urgent need of care. I have seen the tents outside the gates, however. We are not the first to seek asylum, nor will we be the last.
Be that as it
welcome
may,
back.
Ul'dah is no friend to Garlemald. Your tale would stir the hearts of many men and women here. The Sultana and the Syndicate will not be so easily swayed, but I shall see that you are granted an opportunity to plead your case.
This is within your power?
Well, far be it from me to boast, but I do have the ear of certain influential individuals.
I am in your debt.
Lady Yugiri, Forgive me for observing, but your choice of attire seems like to evoke feelings of mistrust.
Men are wont to fear the unfamiliar. We know this from experience.
She's even wearing gloves.
We seek only to spare the people of Uldar unnecessary disquiet.
I shall defer to your experience, then.
I thank you for your understanding.
It seems I have urgent business with the Flame General. I leave our guests in your capable hands.
I don't want to play house. No! Alright. Hey, Yugiri. Yugiri says, if I may, madam, as I said earlier, we have been at sea for some several moons, and our supplies are all but spent. I have not the heart to repeat the tales of our tribulations, nor would it please you to listen to them, I think. Suffice it to say, however, sacrifices have been made. Though it shames me to beg for more when you have already offered so much, desperation compels me, good madame. If you and your associates could spare any provisions, anything at all, it would go a long way to lessen the suffering of my people. Okay. Hi. Hey, Mahmoudi. Mahmoudi says, Hals, why didn't you say so sooner, Nyra? 'Cause I'll help. You couldn't have picked a better day to tell the truth. A wealthy merchant and his entourage were due to have a banquet here on the morrow, see? But just sent word that they can't come, meaning I've got a boatload of foodstuffs and no one to feed. Best of all, they paid for the lot in advance. Go and call on Fedora? Catherine at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Tell him I said to ship the little prince's order to the Waken Sands. Oh, and if they argue, just show them these letters. Well, that should set them straight. Okay. We're gonna feed the refugees. Oh, wait. I need to teleport, don't I? No, I need to go to the exchange. Yeah. Yes. Right there. Catherine says, my, that's a rather odd request. Mayhap you misunderstood her instructions. Nope, I understood very well. I hand her a letter and she says, you know, you shouldn't encourage them like this. They'll start to expect it. You mark my words. Hail. Fry Duris. Fry Duris. This is pretty close. He says, she's in the business of feeding refugees now. I ain't normally one to question Mistress Mumudi's judgment, but that doesn't seem wise to me. It's gonna spoil you. Fridori says, I'll not speak for the children, but if you ask me, any man that can't earn a crust deserves to go hungry. Oh, I think... What's this guy? Yeah. If you haven't done this guy's quest, I totally advise doing it just for that. I'm not gonna do that right now, though. Okay, back to the adventures. There. Hail Mahmoudi. Mahmoudi says, they didn't give you any trouble, did they? Good. Now go and tell Lady Yugiri it's all in hand. Hail Yugiri. Yugiri says, I dare not hope for such magnanimity. Much less expect it. Mistress Momodi is generous indeed. I shall be sure to thank her most humbly. We're having a nod fest. Alphonode says, Lady Yugiri, I briefed the Flame General on your situation. I think you will be pleased with his reply. Yugiri says, you have been granted an audience? Or we have been granted an audience? Alphonode says, before the Sultana and the Syndicate both. We should return to the Royal Promenade at once. Yugiri bows and says, you have done much for us, Mr. Alphonode. I swear we shall return the favor. Alphonode says, naught is owed, Lady Yugiri, for naught has been given. This small favor you fairly won with your words, and it is with words that you must win the favor of the Syndicate. Yugiri says, then I shall choose them with care. Alphonode turns to me and says, you will be accompanying us, yes? Good. Your presence may serve to remind the Syndicate of the true meaning of philanthropy, and that nothing so unpalatable will be required of them, assuming the Domans are willing to earn their keep. Come, the Flame General awaits us on the Royal Promenade. Okay, back out. We go. Where we stop? Right here. Oh, Rubahan. Hail Rubahan. Rubahan says, a pleasure, Nyra. The others are already inside. Let's not keep them waiting.
I, Yugiri of Doma, am honored to meet you at last, Your Grace. To mark this auspicious occasion, I should like to present to you the finest treasures our humble nation has to offer. Alas, the circumstances which have brought me here today have divested me of both time and dignity. I come before you as a pauper in direst need of aid, to request that you grant my people asylum.
I, Nanamo, 17th in the line of Ul, welcome you to our city. Be at ease, Lady Yugiri. Although I myself have heard the tale of your misfortune, I would ask that you recount it once more for the benefit of the others here present.
As you wish, Your Grace. For many years, my nation, Doma, suffered under the yoke of imperial rule, and my people yearned to be free. Thus, when a war of succession broke out in Garlemald, we sought to take advantage of the chaos and reclaim our liberty. Alas, our enemy proved less preoccupied than we had hoped, and our rebellion was put down in the most brutal fashion.
Those who survived, how many do they number?
More than 200 souls huddle within the cramped confines of our own galleon's hold. Yet this figure accounts for but one of a number of ships which escaped the purge. It is my hope that you will allow us all to dwell within your walls. Should that prove unfeasible, however, I humbly ask that you accept as many of my people as your resources allow. Pray understand, we do not beg a boon, but propose instead an arrangement. We would serve as soldiers or tradesmen until our debt is repaid.
What are the Syndicate's opinions on this matter?
I, for one, think it's a marvelous idea. Lady Yugiri and her people strike me as an industrious lot, and there are parts of the city which have yet to be fully restored. If they are willing to work, I see no reason not to let them.
The head of the Mirage Trust is not known for his generosity. He sees profit in this.
Free labor.
I agree. That said, these are foreign refugees. To admit them would require a formal resolution. Shall we call a vote?
The law is the law.
Lord Lolorito?
Tell me, are you blind or willfully ignorant?
You're the one wearing a
Even now,
mask.
our streets are choked with the displaced victims of the Calamity and Alamigan refugees. They live hand to mouth, subsisting on aid provided by the immortal flames, the cost of which grows ever higher. The wealth of Ul'dah is not without limits, my friends. And need I remind you that these refugees are prone to violence and criminal activity? You have all read the reports, I think. Without homes or employment, it is only a matter of time before men grow desperate and take that which they imagine has been unjustly denied them. Yet, knowing this, you would have us swell their ranks. Mayhap you think the brass blades and the flames are not hard-pressed enough?
Some say the chairman of the East Aldenard Trading Company passes Gil thrice daily. This may explain how he came to be the wealthiest man in Ul'dah. Or it may simply be that he's ruthless beyond reckoning.
Surely the Sultanate can support the few hundred domins Lady Yugiri represents. That our resources have been taxed, I do not deny. But we are hardly in danger of financial collapse. I move that an exception be made.
An exception, Your Grace? I am suddenly reminded of a similar debate some years ago regarding a number of Alamigan refugees, if memory serves. What were your words that day? Yes. The law is the law. And so our visitors remained in Little Alamigo. Mayhap our wise and benevolent Sultana would be so good as to enlighten us as to which other of our laws should not be upheld.
Mind your tongue, Lolorito.
My lord, I share your concern for the welfare of our great nation, but we must endeavor to take a longer view. You know as well as I that people can be a resource still more precious than gil.
Yep, free labor.
Precious or not, they were never yet so reliable. And unlike those who frequent your establishment, I have no desire to gamble with my future. Uldar's greatest asset is, and has ever been, her material wealth. We risk this at our peril. One need only look to Teleji Adeleji's example for evidence of the danger in allowing sentiment to dictate policy. How far the vaunted Mirage have fallen, both in
Corrupt
repute and
politicians.
profitability since he began employing refugees.
How I choose to conduct my affairs is not your concern, my lord.
Now we're all off
A
topic.
proposal has been tabled. Given its urgency, I move we forego further debate and call a vote. To accept the Doman refugees or not. Those in favor, I bid you remain. Those opposed, I bid you leave.
Yikes.
Would that it were within my power to welcome you and your people, Lady Yugiri. As you have observed, however, my authority in such matters is regrettably limited. Without the consent of the Syndicate, I cannot act.
I understand, Your Grace. And I appreciate all that you have done on our behalf.
The nerve of the man! If that bastard had not forsaken the eastern trade route, Little Alamigo would now be thriving. Oh, that you should have traveled so far under such dire circumstances, only to be refused in this manner is utterly unconscionable. Pray, accept my sincerest apologies.
Now that the Empire no longer poses an immediate threat, they see little reason to maintain the pretense of unity. The Monitorists have grown especially defiant of late. Lord Lolorito most of all. But this is neither the time nor place for that discussion.
Okay. Oh, I have to pick a die. Oof. Yellow. Why not? No. Right, I knew that. Rubahan says, as you observed, Lularitio is not afraid to speak his mind, nor is he like to change it. Oft have I wondered how a man so skilled in weighing the worth of things should be so incapable of seeing the value in people. Because it's not what he cares about. Bah. I will waste no more words on him. Not when the Domans are yet in need of aid. Everyone, follow me to the Hall of Flames. What? Why can't I just walk with him there? Just magically teleport. Occasionally they do that. Occasionally. Yeah, like I said, occasionally. Though, when you're doing a quest to unlock something, I've noticed a bunch of times it will teleport you to the entrance. Though, if that's in ARR, just later expansions, I'm not entirely sure, but yeah. You'll wander off from the entrance and go do something else, and then do the instance because your queue popped, and then bam, there you are, back at the entrance. Cool. Alright, hail Rubahan. Rubahan says, the Syndicate has spoken, and I see no point in moving, I left it on again. Okay, Alpha Note says, agreed. Uda is not an option. Nor are Lumensa and Lumensa Gordonia, I judge, given the state of their internal affairs. Thank you. Which leaves our Doman friends confined to a ship. Goodness, the thought of them huddled in an airless hold with no hope of better treatment. Would that I had more time to find an alternative, a place not bound by the concerns of the great nations. Not yet. Uffnold says in Linkshell, Menphilia. This is precisely what I wished that is precisely what I wished to discuss. Yugiri says, I understand the Syndicate's decision, I do. We all wish to preserve that which is ours, especially when we believe it to be under siege. But I cannot meekly accept this judgment, not while my people suffer. Would it be out of the question for the Sultanate to accept us for a limited time, a week mayhap, or even just a few days? Alphanol says, excellent, I shall keep you informed. And walks back to the party. And he continues, Lady Yugiri, I have a proposal, if you would hear it. Rubahan says, out with it, Master Alphinold. Alphinold continues, the headquarters of my order, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, stand in a place called Reverend's Toll, an outpost in Mordorona. Like most outposts, it is frequented by missionaries and other men of action, and lacks the comforts of more well-established settlements. However, the leaders of Reverend's Toll have been doing their utmost to change that. To that end, they have need of able-bodied individuals willing to work as frontier hands, hard labor, lest you doubt, with naught save food and shelter by way of reward. Rubahan says, terms not unlike those which you yourself propose, Lady Yugiri. Adeleji says, though I will not hear a word said against our beloved Uda, Reverend's Toll would offer certain advantages, the absence of unhelpful bureaucracy being the most obvious. Yugiri says, if they can accommodate us all, we shall gladly accept. Master Ulfenord, once again I find myself in your debt. Ulfenord turns to me and says, pray, do not thank me, my lady. The life your people go to is one of hard labor and few comforts, as I told you. And before that, there remains the matter of how they may safely be bore to Reverend's Toll, which will be no small feat, considering the distance and their present condition. Mayhap the Udon Adventurers Guild can be of assistance. Look for me anon, Nora. Rubahan turns to Yugiri and says, Lady Yugiri, if you and your people would accompany me, we may discuss what aid the immortal flames can provide. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Here's Alphanod. Yes. I haven't really investigated it yet, but they always do a good job. Well, most of the time anyway. Yeah. Yeah. Although, for the last couple events, it's just been like a moat and like a mount or a pet or something, but yeah. Ah, by the amphitheater, probably. Cool. Thanks. I shall check it out. Ulfanold says, we are concerned that the Doman refugees may find the journey to Reverend's Toll too much to bear. Too long have they been sequestered aboard their ship, with insignificant supplies and scarce room enough to breathe, let alone stretch their limbs. With that in mind, Mistress Momodi has kindly offered to accommodate the Domians until such time as they are ready to set out for Mordohona. Those healthy enough to travel will embark as soon as transportation has been secured, while those too weak to leave at once will be permitted to stay until they regain their strength. Hi, Momodi. Rubahan says, what news? Alphanode says, transportation remains our greatest obstacle, General. Is there aught the immortal flames can do? Rubahan says, I fear that exceeds our mandate. Were it a smaller number, mayhap it would go unnoticed. But the syndicate will not bear the cost of escorting more than 200 domans to Mordohona. Adelechi says, when government fails to act, the responsibility falls to us private citizens. I will engage the services of the 27 caravans in the Dumas on the Dumanians on the Dumans' behalf. Rubahan says, very well. We shall begin contract negotiations at once. Your generosity is most welcome, my lord. Adeleji turns to Yugiri and says, after all that has befallen these good people, it is the least I can do. Come what may, you shall ever have a friend Unuda, Lady Yugiri. Yugiri says, you and you in Reverend's Toll, my lord. Momo 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 D says, well, it sounds like we all have work to do. Lady Yugiri, let's put our heads together and settle the details of our arrangement, shall we? Alpha Note says, I would entrust the task of escorting our domain friends to you. After you have rested your own road-weary legs, of course. What say you? Oh. Alright. Hail Ulfnold. Ulfnold says, as we speak, the Domans prepare for departure at Vesper Bay, where from they will be transported by carriage to Uda. That said, this has all been decided rather suddenly, and it would not surprise me if the refugees required some assistance in coordinating their preparations. Yes, money, 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 money. Alphinaud continues, Nyra, I would have you return to Vesper Bay and facilitate the process through tasks great and small. In short, whatever needs be done, do it. Speak with a man named Hosen when you arrive. As Lady Yugiri tells it, he has been designated the leader of the first group. Ugh, excuse me. Sneezes. Okay. Vesper Bay. Hail Hosen. Hosen says, greetings. Alphinaud informed me that a scion would be arriving to help with the preparations. I am honored to meet you, though shamed as well. A great warrior should not be tasked with such trivial tasks. I knew from a glance what manner of woman you were. I, too, have some skill in arms, as do many of our people. Pray, forgive this trifle, but might I trouble you to help round up the children that have been given into my care? You are not a good babysitter. Oh boy. Husband continues. They are most adept at staying hidden from my sight, but perhaps your keen eyes will succeed where mine have failed. You should at least know where they are. Yeah. Yeah. And they're in a foreign land. They don't know these people. They don't know this town. This could be like red light district territory, and they're letting the kids run loose. Ooh. A couple of them might disappear. Yeah. Ozen continues. You have my thanks, friend. Pray seek out my son, Yozen. He can tell you more. Hail Yozen. Yozen says, oh, hello there. I'm Yozen, son of Hosen. Will you be coming with us to Uda? I hear we're traveling by horsebird drawn carriage. Horsebird drawn carriage. But don't you think they're queer? Giant birds that people ride like horses? I still want to try riding one, but... What's that? You're looking for the others? Don't worry. I already told them to get ready for the carriages. I'll need your help, though. We were just finishing a game of hide and seek. 3 players are still in hiding, and since Lady Yugiri told us to take it really seriously, they won't move until they're found. But Vesper Bay isn't that big, so I bet you can find them in no time. Well, let's see. I've done this before. Oh, there's one here. Hail, hiding child. They say, hey, you're not Yozan. Who are you? I'm Kuhura. I'm Kuhura. Nyra Wulfenshade? I didn't know anyone else was... Wait a minute. You're one of those, Stortrians, aren't you? No. Science! Then you must know Lady Yugiri, right? Isn't she great? She is really good at hide and seek, too. Oh, right. It's almost time to go. Nice meeting you, Nyra Wulfenshade. I see one. Hiding child. You say, are you playing? Ah, no fair. Yosin didn't say anything about adults. Huh? We get to ride a horse-bird carriage? I don't know. It sounds scary, but if Yosin says it's safe, I'll go. You better go. Okay, now the last one. Oh, right there. Hell. How'd you find me, Bah? Guess I need to practice more. Or mayhap you're just good at this. I mean, the Garleans didn't find me. Maybe they weren't looking that hard. Hail Hosan. Hosan says, wonderful. All the children are accounted hide and seek? Ah, I see that you are curious. It's quite simple, really. Lady Yugiri thought it best that the children know what to do in case the Garleans found us. I should hope that those days are behind us, but nevertheless, take comfort in knowing that we are prepared. For a second there, I thought it was from magic. Okay. Hosan says, the first caravan is due to depart shortly, followed by the rest at regular intervals. My family and I, including my stubborn old father, Homori, will be traveling in the lead carriage together with young Koharu, whom I believe you've already met. Though I understand the road to Uda is regularly patrolled by your brass blades, it would give us great comfort if you would agree to accompany us on our journey. Once again, I thank you for your kindness. When you are ready to leave, please inform our coachman. Coachman. Coachman says, eager to be off, are you? Well, I was meaning to have a word with ye about that. Runner from the Blade says we might have a problem. A fierce-looking beastie's been sighted south of the bridge to Hammerley. Might be as someone's eyes are playing tricks on 'em, of course, but it don't pay to gamble in this business. Now, I know you can handle yourself in a fight, but this lot here is another story. So I was thinking you might go on ahead and have a quick look around. Make sure the area is safe like, and if you come across anything dangerous, you know what to do. Of course I do. When you're satisfied the way is clear, come meet us outside Horizon. The Blades tell me the road's safe, so I reckon we can make it that far on our own. Assuming the self-same bastards didn't try to rob us, that is. So trusting. He's like, just trusts the military guys, but oh, he just trusts me all the way. What? He doesn't know me. Oh no, she's fine. Okay, where are we going? Oh, there. Suspiciously fresh shaped, suspicious person, yeah. Uh-huh. That can be me. Sometimes. Hey, look at that. It is doomed. Okay. Destination. Okay. Oh, it's an eye. That's not good. Anyone else? Okay. There we are. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. That's what I meant to do. The coachman says, so there was a beastie. 'Twas being the operative word. Eh? Hosen says, well fought, madame, well fought. If only I were in better health, I should have been proud to stand at your side. Homori says, pray my son no mind. He forgets that his responsibilities preclude acts of daring do. Hosen says, be that as it may, I cannot help but envy you. Had we been able to call upon the heroes of your strength and skill in Doma, things would have been very different. But we cannot change the past. Those who fought and fell are forever lost to us. Homie says, lost but not forgotten. Lady Yugiri's kinsmen least of all. They fought fiercest, though they knew full well it was in vain. She had every right to walk away, yet she chose to stay. Food, shelter, the promise of a better life, all this and more we owe to her. How does one even begin to repay such a debt? Hosen says, in kind, father, to she who has given everything, we shall give her all. Hosen continues, however, whatever work there is to be done, we shall do without question. Ditch digging, bricklaying, it matters not. Reverend's tool will grow and prosper by our hands. The look on her face. They're kids, Nyra. Yosen says, hey, Mistress Nyra, Koharu and I want to know why you became an adventurer. To go where the wild rose blooms. Yeah, we'll pick that one. Yosen says, so, you like roses? I think I understand. I mean, they're nice and everything, but don't they grow in lots of places? Koharu says, it's my turn now. Excuse me, Miss Nyra. I've got a question. What's Reverend's tool like? Is it pretty? No, it's ugly and full of bricks. It's a bristling outpost frequented by countless adventurers. It's a bastion of it's home to the sections. Oh, we'll take that one. The kid will love it. Koharu says, so, you live there with your friends. That means you'll always be there to protect us. Yosen says, enough, Koharu. It's my turn again. Miss Nyra, when I'm older, I want to be strong like you. What do I have to do? Fight ferocious beasts. It's probably going to get him killed. Yosen says, like that thing you fought earlier, you mean? Right. Hosen says, alright, that's enough questions for Miss Nyra. Koharu says, that's not fair. Why does Yosen get to ask 2 questions? I still want to know about adventuring just as much as he does. Yosen says, just one more, please. Do you think I could be an adventurer like you one day? Sure. Don't die. You'll be fine. Yosen says, really? Then I will. Thanks for the advice, Miss Nyra. I won't forget it. Koharu says, I'm going to be an adventurer too. Yosen says, when we get to Reverend's Toll, let's make an adventurer's guild for Dumans. We'll protect our friends and punish the wicked, just like Miss Nyra and Lady Yugiri. Koharu says, yeah, just like Miss Nyra and Lady Yugiri. Hosen says, we can talk more about it in the carriage on the way. Will you be joining us? Nod. supposed to go? Oh, that's what it says. All the way over there? Yeah, where's there it is. Alphanode. Hail Alphanode. He says, "Ah, Nyra, I take it the first group has arrived. Excellent. Is there aught else? No. I have matters well in hand here. You and Lady Yugiri should travel to Reverend's Toll forthwith." Yay. Alphonal continues, "It is past time Lady Yugiri met with the guild representatives in Reverend's Toll. Since I do not foresee any further matters arising here in Thanalan, which might require your personal attention, I would instead have you serve as an escort to the Domian delegation for the duration of the journey. Seek first with Slothborn upon your arrival. He is the one with whom the Domans will be working most closely, I should think. Afterwards, introduce Lady Yugiri to Minfilia and the guild emissary. If both meetings go well, the resulting ties should stand the Domans in good stead for that which is to come. Safe travels, Nyra." Reverend's Toll. So nice to have a teleport there. Oh, if you would like to know a possible way to get rid of your sprout mark, you go over here, go search player, party members, and edit your search info, and go boop, pooha. It's not permanent though. Yep. You're welcome. You're not supposed to actually kind of know that because you're a sprout, and since you don't know it, then you keep your sprout on so people know you're a sprout. Yeah. Selfborn says, "And this must be the esteemed Lady Yugiri and her associates. I greet you all as friends and bid you welcome to the toll." I hope you do not find our dearth of fineries off-putting. Poor though we may seem, we have a wealth of spirit and camaraderie to spare. Mine disappeared when I finished the latest expansion, so that'll be a while. Southbourne continues, "You see, race and creed don't enter into it here. We welcome all sorts, provided they are willing to earn their keep, of course." Yugiri says, "You are no strangers to hard work, Masters. We are no strangers to hard work, Master You may rest assured that we will carry out your orders with due diligence. Slothborn says, "Oh, not for a moment did I doubt your commitment, my lady. Pray understand, I give the same speech to all new arrivals, and you needn't bow your head or call me master either. We are both frontier hands, as far as I'm concerned." Yugiri says, "As you wish, Selfborn. May this meeting mark the beginning of a long and fruitful relationship." Yay! Selfborn says, "Our guests have yet to meet the Ascendant. Seven hells, Nyra, why are you wasting time with me? See them to the rising stones." And there's a weird man in the background. Hail Yugiri, she says. "To whom much is given, much is expected. Forgive me, I require a moment to compose my thoughts before a meeting with your leader. We shall join you in the rising stones anon." Okay. And that's this way, yep. I always get mixed up as to which door to go to. I am directionally challenged. Yeah, if I'm driving and you're trying to give me directions, you need to point and say that way. Not turn right, because I'll go left. Okay, Menphilia. Cutscene. Oh, she has a link pearl. Menphilia says, "'Tis no use." And she says to me, "Our attempts to reach the students of Bastaldian continue to meet with failure. Undre has explored other avenues of inquiry, but they too have yielded naught. We will persevere, of course, yet within our hearts the truth is clear. We are but awaiting confirmation of that which we already know." "How fare the domins? I am given to understand you were kept quite busy in Vesper Bay. Mayhap you question the wisdom of aiding refugees when the primal threat remains unresolved. I should not blame you if you did, nor would I deny that this matter falls outside our normal purview. Be that as it may, I cannot ignore the plight of these refugees, not when it was within our power to help them." Menphilia continues, "Lady Yugiri is here. Please show her in. I should very much like to meet her." Menphilia says, "We have no objections. Pray, do so with our blessing." Yugiri says, "Your answer pleases me beyond words, my lady. But are you quite certain? We have no way of knowing how many might answer my summons. In the event that Reverend's toll could not accommodate us all, we would need to find an alternative solution." Menphilia says, "Should that come to pass, we will find it together." Adventurers Guild emissary says, As ever, it has been a pleasure, Assidient. Alas, we must take our leave, as the first carriages are due to arrive at any moment. Should you require aught else, pray speak with Self-born, Lady Yugiri, Nyra. Alright. Monthelia says... Oh. That's... She says this name with an L, but it's an F on the NPC. Lahaman and I will make all the necessary preparations to ensure that our Dolmen friends feel at home upon their arrival. Though I must admit that I am still troubled about the matter of the missing crystals. Yashtula should be returning anon with a report from a field. Mayhap you could wait here and speak with her upon her arrival. Cutscene.
How goes the fishing? Caught anything slippery?
Aye. Our suspicions were well founded. The Serpent Reavers are indeed the culprits.
The plot thickens.
Has there been any movement in Thanalan?
It has been blessedly quiet. Which is to say the Amalja are being no more or less of a nuisance than usual, summoning a fleet with such crystals as they have hoarded. Urianger, too, reports not out of the ordinary.
Then we have our explanation.
Your explanation for what, pray tell?
For the recent spate of crystal thefts in Thanalan, we naturally assumed that the trail would lead us back to the Amalja. Yet it did not. It led us across the sea unto Vilbrand.
Vilbrand? There have been reports of increased Sahagin activity of late. Oh gods, they mean to summon Leviathan?
That is the way of it, I fear. Whilst conducting our investigation on behalf of the mineral concern, we came upon evidence implicating the Serpent Reavers. With the aid of the Maelstrom, I was able to verify our suspicions. 'Tis only a matter of time before Leviathan returns to harrow the seas. But there is more. One of the Sahagin, an elder by my judgment, spoke of attaining the gift and knowledge of eternity.
Ugh.
Uh-oh, daydream time.
Such a disturbance in the ether. If I did not know better, I should think this device defective. And there is the explanation.
Soon it shall begin. Our Lord shall rise mid surging waves to wash away the finless one. And I shall be granted the gift and knowledge of eternity, and with the emissary stand equal. Then shall I know no cessation, no oblivion.
Whence comes this promise of immortality? The emissary? We have outstayed our welcome.
The gift and knowledge.
Are the two of you quite well?
You shared that vision, did you not?
There's the music
Even
I was
before the
talking about
Sahagin
in
made
the
mention of
background. You
the
can hear it now.
emissary, I recognized Elidibus's words. He is behind this. But surely it is not within his power to grant the echo.
My lady, unless we act swiftly, Leviathan will rise again. The Admiral has already requested that we intervene to prevent this. Failing that, we are to attend to the Primal's extermination.
She will have our full cooperation. Let us make haste to Limsa Lominsa. I mean to play a part in this mission. Tataru, pray, take charge in my absence.
Yeah, there, you can hear it. That's when the plot thickens.
My lady, are you sure this is wise?
I am aware of the risks, but there is something I must see with mine own eyes. The true nature of the echo.
Very well. I shall not stand in your way. On the condition that you permit me to accompany you as bodyguard.
Your company is ever welcome, Thancred.
I take it something ill is afoot.
Aye, a Primal is about to be loosed upon Eorzea.
A primal?
A godlike being whose very existence is a bane upon the land. We scions of the Seventh Dawn are sworn to put an end to their kind.
I see. Know then that I am learned in the arts of war. In return for the kindness you have shown my people, I would lend you my blade.
It would be most welcome. When contending with a Primal, one can never have too many able allies. If you crave a more intimate understanding of the problems facing Eorzea, this experience is like to provide it. Be sure to come well prepared.
Do apologize, but I will be back Saturday. I'll be playing a different game on Saturday, so, and I think what I'll do is I'll randomly like turn on the stream on Saturday. I liked doing that last weekend, so we'll see. But till then, see y'all later. Bye.